Hey everybody, it's Melissa and we're talking about certified Poundtown Galore fragrances. I started this series over 2 years ago and it quickly became one of my most popular series that I did on all my social media platforms. But for all of you new people here, how does something become certified? It's in-field tested by yours truly, of course. All those videos that I make, I know it sounds like I'm joking, but when I say stuff like, wear this if you're trying to get folded in half, wear this if you're trying to break somebody's back, like all of that is not just there to have a catchy title. Like this channel is very much experience driven. I don't just pick up a fragrance, smell it and go, oh, this is sexy. I think this would really work for this and blah, 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 and just make up scenarios. All those scenarios that I mentioned is the real. I'm bringing my real world experience to this platform right here. So please know that my experiences, I just have to make this a disclaimer because some people just don't understand this, but these are my experiences. Just if you get these fragrances, don't assume that the same exact thing is going to happen to you. Okay. Everybody's personality is a little bit different. As always, discount codes, discount links for all of these fragrances. It's going to be pinned in the comment section below. It's going to be in the description box in case you guys want to support the channel or compare prices, but always buy a sample first and buy where you're comfortable. That's the main thing. All right. So I have so many fragrances on this table because I'm going to be including the ones that I remember from like the start of me making this video for all the newbies. All right. So you can read that. You see that? Do you see this legendary fragrance in my hands? This is Tobaccovene by Tom Ford. Dude, the last time I wore this fragrance was last August, I believe. This is a heavy hitter. So Tobaccovene is a unisex fragrance that to me, it's a gourmand. A gourmand means that it smells like you want to eat it. It smells like you want to lick it. It smells like two main things, a chai latte and gingerbread cookies. Very Christmassy, holiday-esque, more of a nighttime fragrance. And out the gate, I don't consider this to be a sexy smelling fragrance, but it ramps up to that level. Let me explain. It's the type of fragrance that when somebody smells it on you and they're snuggling into your neck, it's just cozy. It's comforting. It's inviting. It just feels safe, if you will, right? And because someone's able to kind of let loose and be vulnerable around you wearing a fragrance like this that just smells so cuddly, it can welcome other things as well. You know, so that's what I mean, that it can absolutely go in that direction. It's why it's on this list, because it's so easy to love, easy to be intimate with, easy to be vulnerable with, but performs over 12 hours, no problem. All right, next up, we've got Layton Parfums de Marley. This is in no particular order. I'm just grabbing them and talking about them right here, but Layton is a very easy to love, sweet, apple vanillic niche fragrance. Very high quality. Ignore everybody that says this is an overrated fragrance. If you're in the fragrance community, if you watch a lot of fragrance content, you probably would assume so. But the whole point of this video, the whole point of this series is, again, real world applications. People in the real world do not know niche fragrances like that. There's even designer fragrances that are still going to be out of a majority of people's budget. Okay, so be very realistic. People don't know Layton. And Layton is just extremely likable. You know when you throw it on, that it's going to be a good night, basically. So I would consider Layton the type of fragrance that, first of all, I don't get any Vicks Vapor Rub smell off of it. Apparently, a lot of my male followers get that. For me, that has never been an issue when I've applied it on myself, when I've sprayed it in the air, when I've smelled it on somebody else. But it's just like an easy-going fragrance. And you have to remember, especially when it comes to masculine scents, a lot of the times people aren't wearing sweet masculine fragrances. They're wearing more of those blue scents like Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, YEDP, you know? So wearing something that is sweet, that's sophisticated, but still has that masculine touch is a sure way to set yourself apart from other people around you that are probably going to be wearing fragrances. Okay, so nighttime scent for sure. Also one that performs over 10 hours, no problem. We're going to switch it up to a freshie. Moleculea 1 Eccentric Molecules. This fragrance has kind of taken a bit of a break in my collection, but just look at the dent. I could literally just show this scent and then put it down, but I have to explain it because a lot of people have misconceptions about it. So this is the ultimate signature scent. It's gonna smell different on every single person that throws it on. For me, whenever I've worn it, people have said I smell fresh. Somebody told me I smell like I just did my laundry. I just came out the shower. So it's been a really nice, easygoing scent in that regard. However, there are people that wear this fragrance that smell like rust, that smell like handrails. So again, sampling is very important when you're trying a fragrance like this. It's an ISO E super scent, so it enhances your skin chemistry. What I like doing with Moleculea 1 is actually pairing it with kind of a weaker performing fragrance and just kind of helping it get longevity. Not projection, but longevity, so I could still smell those fragrances. But Moleculea 1 is the type of fragrance you wear when you don't want people to think you're wearing a fragrance and you just want them to think that, oh, this person just smells like this. But why is it so attractive? So that's kind of a self-explanatory thing there without me having to say much. All right, Moleculea 1, a beast. And this one lasts on me over 8 hours by itself on skin. So it will go in and out. It's a very smart fragrance. What I mean by smart is that when you're not being active, you can hardly smell it. If you're at work, like on the computer, you're not going to smell it. But the second you're standing up, you're walking around, you're working out, it's going to push. It's going to go, oh, it's time for me to shine. That's what I mean when I say it's a smart fragrance. I like to layer Moleculea 1 with Afternoon Swim. Afternoon Swim is sex in a bottle. Sexy, orange, fresh fragrance. People shit on Afternoon Swim because of the performance and because it's boring. It's so basic. There's nothing special about it. To me, I would rather have a simple fragrance versus something that's so overcrowded with notes that's trying so hard to be different and trying so hard to be unique. I don't mind. Sometimes the best things are the simplest things. And that's what I view Afternoon Swim as. I haven't worn this in a minute, but this thing was putting in work. It was putting in some serious work. And you know what? Yeah, no, it's very easily inviting, but also it gets down. Okay, performance here, for a lot of people, I hear them say it lasts 3 hours, 4 hours. On me, I do smell this past 5 hours on my skin. When I wear something like Moleculea 1 on top of it, it will push past 7 hours. Again, not in a way that is so noticeable, but after 7 hours, I'll still catch whiffs of it on me. So the longevity would be there, but I wear this in the summertime. And you can wear this all seasons. Basically, the first two, I would say more nighttime, fall, winter, or when the sun's down. This, any season, any occasion. Afternoon Swim, definitely more of your summertime fragrance. Unisex. All right, got another unisex fragrance here, Ombre NWI, Christian Dior. This is a throwback. This is, oh man. You guys know Doctor Strange, how he could, remember, he could see all these different, outlooks of the future or something possibilities and probabilities, that sort of stuff. That's what I'm doing right now with this fragrance, but back in time. So Ombre NWI is an intimate scent. It is not going to push. It's going to be probably half an arm's length, at most an arm's length of projection, but it's very sensual. And there's a sophistication to this fragrance with the rose, with the amber, so beautifully blended that it's, how do I say this? Yeah, it's an intimate scent. It's just, a date night. Let's say you're having a date night, you're cooking for the person you love and care about, and you're wearing something like Ombre NWI. It's perfect because your fragrance isn't gonna be blasting over the table when you guys are eating, because I've told you guys how I am with that, right? I don't like wearing strong fragrances when it's dinner time if I'm out with somebody, because I don't want my fragrance competing with the aroma of the food. So Ombre NWI stays close to you. Your date's not going to smell it. They're going to enjoy the food that's in front of them. But afterwards, when you're cuddling, when you're snuggling, when you're walking, when you're doing whatever, and you're getting closer to each other, and they smell this Ombre NWI, and it's nighttime, it just hits. That is all I'm going to say about this fragrance. All right, next up, Spice Bomb Extreme, Viktor and Rolf. Marketed as a masculine fragrance. Man, this scent. This is a powerhouse scent, okay? It's my favorite Spice Bomb flanker, just my favorite Spice Bomb in general. And it is a tobacco fragrance, right? There's tobacco, there's vanilla, and I think there's a, not cumin, maybe it's caraway in the opening. There's a spice in the opening, which is obvious, then the tobacco, and then the vanilla just rounds out the fragrance. I honestly kind of thought Tobaccovene would smell like this, but it ended up smelling more gourmand, like I said. But this one is just, it's downright sweet, sexy. If Layton is too out of your budget, you can get Spice Bomb Extreme. Is it going to smell the same? It's not, but the reactions just speak for themselves with this fragrance. Again, with the masculine sweet fragrances, a lot of people aren't really wearing them. If they are, it's typically people will try to go for more of the boozy ones, like Jazz Club, which are still kind of nice. But sometimes, like, you just need something like Layton, you need something like Spice Bomb Extreme that's just going to get you right. But this lasts over 8 hours on skin. On clothes, it'll push even longer, but honestly, such a great designer fragrance. Okay, next up, I gotta mention this one right here, because I got a couple fragrances, because this is new. La Vallée by YSL. This is fresh, okay? So within the past, like, week or two is basically what I'm saying. And this is what she was wearing. Snatched my soul. This fragrance, I don't know what it is note-wise. I cannot give you the note breakdown of this right now in my head, but I could tell you the second I take off this cap and I start smelling it, it's gonna be a dangerous thing for me to do, but I'm gonna do it. I made a TikTok before this, and the first words that came out of my mouth were, if you could speak more than one language, just get this fragrance. There is no scientific evidence to back that up. There's no reason why I said that in general, but just freaking do it. If you can, do you see how tongue twisted I'm getting? This is so sexy. It's floral. It's so feminine, and it's so girly. I love it. I love this fragrance. I can't even. My mouth is moving faster than my brain is computing right now. It has me in a chokehold. I think that's really the best way to say it. But floral, feminine, just makes you want to take a bite. Like it. I'm putting it to the side. I'm making myself look like a fool. You guys know I don't edit my videos, and I'm over here just stumbling over my words. Babbling. Okay. La Nuit de l'Homme, YSL. I wore this fragrance. Now we're throwing it back again. I'll tell you guys which ones have kind of been used more recently and which ones are kind of, they've been here since the jump. You already know this is like the fragrance that got me into fragrances, that got me into this hobby as of the past couple of years or so. Cardamom, Vetiver. I know I said Afternoon Swim was sex in a bottle, but so is this. Okay, Afternoon Swim is an over $200 fragrance. I got this scent for $75 for the 100 ml. It's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. This is really, if you're trying to build your collection and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I need a masculine fragrance that's going to be basically for sexy time or for just like date night. If you're just looking for a straight up sexy fragrance for nighttime, you can use it in the daytime too, but just round it off with this. The performance is what gets people. I will say for me, I get pretty decent performance with this fragrance. But if you are somebody that you've heard so much about performance issues, I would say just get the 6.7 fluid ounce bottle of this and then just spray more. Also, it doesn't get annoying when you overspray it, which I really, really like. So shout out to La Nuit de l'Homme. There's a reason there's so many videos on this fragrance. It's on a lot of lists when it comes to sexiest masculine scents. It's been around since, I think, 2008, 2009. And I still talk about it till this day. I don't think it smells dated. I don't think it smells old. I don't think any of that. I think it's very relevant still till this day. Okay, next up. Oh my God, Carlisle. Parfums de Marley. I hardly talk about this fragrance anymore for the sole reason that I can hardly wear it in the weather that I live. But this is definitely not a blind buy fragrance. Not at all. Okay, Carlisle, you gotta sample this one because unless you're balling like that, go for it. This fragrance is over $300, which is enough to gatekeep the average person anyways, but it's also one of the harder fragrances to pull off. The sex appeal to this is for sure there, but it's super polarizing, all right? This is a very badass, mysterious, just like, I got it like that type of fragrance. It takes some sort of confidence and just a different type of energy to rock Carlisle and for it to just work its magic, all right? If you hold your elbows like this, don't even freaking think about getting a fragrance like Carlisle, because it's not gonna work as well. That probably sounded mean, and I know I'm not mean, all right? That, you guys know, I say stuff like that, but then of course you buy what you want. Typically, I wouldn't have had to explain myself, but there's been a lot of soft people on my channel lately, so of course we're all about love here, and I love you guys, okay? But anyways, Carlisle is a fragrance that lasts over 12 hours, but it is no joke, all right? So it is what I would consider an Eastern style fragrance that's made likable to the Western nose. You know, a lot of those Arabic fragrances really been taking off, have been really gaining in popularity because of performance and because of how unique they are. Carlisle embodies all of that, but especially if you're dressed up wearing a scent like this, it really goes. But this is sexy. Like, I don't even, just watch my videos on it. It's a throwback for sure. All right, next up, Oudwood Tom Ford. This is the fragrance, the first oud fragrance that really unlocked oud for me. Before this scent, when I was smelling oud, I was like, why is anybody willing to smell like a barnyard? It made zero sense. It wasn't computing in my head. I'm like, who goes, like these people that were talking about oud, it was almost as if they wanted to stick their head in a barnyard and smell it and go, oh, and then they would just like, you know, they'd finish. Crazy talk. I was like, what is going on? So when I tried Oud Wood, I was like, oh, that doesn't smell like the oud that I was smelling with all those other things. It didn't smell harsh at all. It smells, to me still, it smells just like freshly blended wood. It doesn't smell like oud, but it has the word oud in there. People consider this more of a nighttime fragrance. I will say I've worn this in the daytime with a white t-shirt, kind of like you're seeing right now. And I remember I was literally booking it at Target because where I needed to go was at the back of the store. I think I was either returning something or I had to exchange something, but they made me go to the back of the store for something. I'm brisk walking, like Mr. Krabs, like that, but actually fast, right? And I remember I passed by these three girls like, oh, you smell so good. Like they just like shouted that out as I was brisk walking. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. But outside of that, this is a Poundtown Galore video. It's here. Oudwood Tom Ford. Is it worth it? Up to you of how deep your pockets go. A lot of people don't get the best performance for it, which is why I say try a sample of it or, you know, overspray it. But for a lot of people, I don't think this is going to be worth it to them. So that's just my honest opinion. Next up, Pie Givenchy. This one performs, dude. Pie lasts over 8 hours. Now, this is, by the way, this is marketed as a unisex fragrance. I could see it a little bit more on the masculine side. Pie is a masculine fragrance that I see as a unisex. In fact, I remember when I first got this fragrance, I blind bought it, and then I sprayed it, and I was around a guy and a girl, and both of them thought it was a fragrance for women. I didn't tell them what it was. They closed their eyes, but they didn't even know fragrances anyways. But that's what I like to do, is kind of give a blind test to just your average person of what they assume the fragrance smells like, and both of them assumed that it was a feminine fragrance. But that's not to say if you're a guy, oh, like you're gonna smell like a woman. No. Okay, I think that this is like a sweet, sugary scent. Okay, like powdered sugar, if you will. But it's snuggly. Kind of the same effect as what I was mentioning with Tobaccovene. It allows somebody to just go like, oh, like fall into you and just kind of cuddle and snuggle, and maybe you want to just like take a nap together, and that's intimate, but because they're, you know, taking a nap with you and they feel comfortable and safe with you, it just also makes them feel horned up, right? So just my experience with Pie by Givenchy, I liked actually applying this on clothes personally, but you can absolutely wear this on skin as well. But again, lasts over 8 hours. Really nice, sweet fragrance. And I got this for $40. This is the 100 ml, $40. That's a steal. Okay. Next up, Salt and Pepper Precious Liquid. This has been on the list since the dawn of time. Basically since I first tried this fragrance, because it set the tone for, okay, what like a niche sex appeal scent was supposed to be, in terms of not of how I viewed it, but of the reactions that I was getting from this fragrance. And this is a fragrance I wore recently. I posted like a video about it, but this has been the talk for about the past 3 days or so after me just wearing this scent. So I've told that curveball story that at first, like, they're like, oh, it's mid. Came back and she was like, oh, that's like, I really like that scent. This is now like a 9 out of 10 to her nose. And she's still, like, she's been bringing it up of like, yeah, that thing, it smells so good. I like Salt and Pepper. Are you going to wear that the next time? Blah, 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 that sort of stuff. Just downright sexy to the feminine nose. You guys have heard me say that pepper and Broxin, very masculine fragrance as well. And it does last over 7 to 8 hours on skin. I don't consider this a beast mode fragrance where it's gonna push, like fill the room, but it's gonna have that longevity. It's gonna stay on your skin. And for all of you that are absolute freaks, this is the fragrance right here. You're not a freak, then just, if you're not freaky like that, then just don't get Salt and Pepper. Okay, next up, Tuxedo YSL. Used to talk about this thing a lot. I really don't wear it anymore. I feel like the smell of it changed a bit. Ever since I got COVID, the other, not last, like 2 years ago, it just kind of had this burning smell. Right now it doesn't smell like that. But I was kind of put off with it. And it was the only fragrance that changed to my nose. Out of everything else that I tried still smelled the same when I recovered from COVID, right? But then after that, this fragrance had this burning smell and I wasn't rocking with it. Then YSL sent me another bottle of Tuxedo. And when I tried it, it smelled like the same way that I remembered. So I still think this is a good fragrance. I'm not sure about the lifetime of the scent because it has been over 2 years. But it's a classy, sophisticated, just... here's how I'll say it, because when I say classy and sexy at the same time, people can scratch their heads. They're like, aren't those kind of opposites? Not really. I think when you see somebody that's handling their own, you see somebody that, there's something about them that just asserts a sort of confidence, and not dominance in a way where you're trying, but it's just like, you got it like that, right? And seeing somebody just take care of themselves and just like take care of the people around them in that sort of way, in a natural way, without being like a whiner or whatever, like, that's hot. That's very attractive. And that is the vibe that I caught with Tuxedo. When I would wear Tuxedo, it was always just, I should just show the dent of the bottle, but this fragrance was hitting. This fragrance was, yeah, nighttime for sure. This one, again, marketed as a unisex fragrance, as are basically all of the YSL private blends. But I do see this one a little bit more on the masculine side. However, just a side note, there have been a lot of my male followers that have thought Tuxedo was too feminine for them. So, try it, see how you guys like it. But I still think it goes more on the masculine side. That's just my opinion. All right, next up, Cedropose, Manera. Had this for a while. I believe, what did I buy this fragrance for? Like $89 back in the day. This is the twist cap version. You guys are probably like, there's no dent in that. Why are you talking so much about this fragrance? Because I've talked about this for a long time. And simply put, it's a beast, all right? I only need half a spray to a spray of this fragrance. So this will be a lifetime sort of scent if I want to keep it around for that. I do know that they reformulated it because there's a note now that's illegal in fragrances that's used in Cedropose. So they had to reformulate it. But the performance of the newer one is still really good. It will still push past 6 to 7 hours for a freshie, which is already like double the standard that fresh fragrances typically are, right? But this one has a woody dry down, and it just has like a fruity, it's kind of pineapple-y opening on me. So really, really nice. Marketed as unisex, more masculine. Okay, we got a couple more. We're throwing in Lamar by Kajal Parfums. This is very similar to La Valladolid, where I have to mention it because, yeah, she wore this. And Lamar is a gourmand fragrance. Like I said, it smells like you want to eat it. It smells like you want to lick it, right? It is a sweet pineapple scent. And all I'm going to say is there's a reason why people either drank cranberry juice or pineapple juice before they do anything. Spray this behind your kneecaps. Lasts over 12 hours. Unisex fragrance, by the way. I just like it better on women, but this is easily one of those scents that if you were to buy it, it's going to become a couple's fragrance. Whether you're a guy or a girl, you're going to smell this and go, dang, this, like, it pulls. Like, this fragrance really pulls like a massive attraction to it. Whether it does not matter your gender, it lingers in the room, it will linger in the hallways, it makes itself unforgettable. And it's a really good price as well. I think I remember seeing this for like, what, 150? Like, it was priced like a designer. At least that was when the sales were happening. I'm not sure as of right now, but you guys can check. Lafayette Street, Bond 9. If you stayed this long, like watching without forwarding the video, you're a real one. But also, I wore this one recently. Very versatile daytime scent. You guys remember that, I don't know if you guys have seen on YouTube, but it was like popping off on TikTok. There was a couple in New York that was getting it on at the park underneath a green blanket. And you know it smelled like ass under there, right? But there was kids around, everybody was like around. And they were just, they did not care. They did not care, right? They came up for air and you already know it's just, ugh, you know, it's like it smells rotten there probably, right? But if you're trying to do things in the daytime, this is the fragrance that you wear. But please be sneaky about it. I get that with some people, it's like, ooh, the idea of potentially getting caught, that's so exciting, it's so fun, blah, blah, blah. But don't be like literally a blanket on top of you at the park fun, thinking that, oh, we're being so sneaky right now. That you're going to regret that, okay? So be sneakier. Okay, but wear a fragrance like Lafayette Street. Marketed as unisex. I think it goes more on the masculine side. I know this has been a long video, y'all. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me on it. But again, discount links, discount codes for all these fragrances pinned in the comment section below, and also going to be in the description box if you guys want to support the channel. But always, always, always sample before you buy, and then buy where you're comfortable. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.